Hello traders, Rich here and here's a quick but detailed update on USDCHF. As usual, if you guys like the analysis, let me know in the comments or simply give a like. So let's get started. As we clearly see, USDCHF has been overall bullish for a while, making higher lows and higher highs, trading inside this rising orange channel. And we are currently approaching a very strong support zone. We have multiple rejections from it and it's currently acting as a support area since price is retesting it from the upper side course, no matter how strong a support area is, it can still be broken down. But that's why we don't buy blindly. We always zoom into lower time frames for extra confirmation and we will be looking for buy setups. And I insist on the word looking because for now the bears can still kick in, break it downward. In this case, a movement to the next rejection would be expected, which would be our demand zone, also acting as a resistance to support and also intersecting with the lower trend line, acting as a non-horizontal support. But for now, let's take it step by step, right? Around the support area, so we'll be looking for buy setups starting from here. If you zoom into daily time frame, we are currently trading inside, if you want, a wedge pattern. We've got our first impulse, a correction. We are currently in this impulse, expecting this correction movement till this supply zone also intersecting with the upper trend line. So yes, we are looking for buy setups. Meanwhile, USDCHF can sit trade inside the zone before trading higher or even break it downward. As I mentioned from weekly, in this case, we'll be looking for buy setups here around the lower bound. If you zoom into H1 time frame, can see that we are currently bearish as mentioned from daily, trading inside this channel. And if you follow like the previous analysis, we broke above the previous high, we traded higher, below the previous low, lower, higher, lower, and so on. And if you remember, I posted a sell setup around this area, I guess. Anyway, I'll check it out. So we are currently approaching the lower bound and will be looking for buy setups as mentioned previously. So as per my trading plan, I'll be waiting for a new swing high to form around the upper trend line to consider it my trigger swing, just like previously here and here. So to consider it the major last high, and then this would be our trigger. Let's make it in gray as usual for our trigger swing. When this happens, to enter a buy after a momentum candle close above the zone, and the stop loss would be just below the previous swing low, and we target a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio, which would be around the upper resistance and the upper trend line in brown. Meanwhile, and until the buy is activated, USDCHF can sit trade lower and lower to form a new swing high here before activating the buy, or even break the support downward to test the lower support. Before we continue, I want to tell you about Tickmill. Tickmill is established in 2014 and is one of the leading Forex and CFD brokers with registered users from more than 200 different countries. Tickmill is a no-dealing desk and ECN broker regulated in many countries like the UK, Cyprus, and recently in South Africa. With Tickmill, you can trade a wide range of instruments, starting from Forex to indices, commodities, and even crypto. Most importantly, with very low spreads and trading fees. If you don't have an account yet, make sure to create one using my referral link in the description below to benefit from 5% discounts on your trading fees. And let's continue. As we clearly see as per my last picture analysis, we know that EURUSD rejected our support area and traded higher. So yes, we are currently bullish, making higher lows and higher highs from a short-term perspective. However, this bullish trend is simply a correction phase inside this bigger bearish trend. So this correction now is simply just like the previous ones here and here as well. That's why as price approaches the upper bound, the resistance zone, we'll be looking for a trend following sell setup. I also posted an analysis about this one a couple of days ago. We'll be looking for sell setups around this area because it is the intersection of the previous lows, now acting as a potential short-term resistance, also a long-term resistance zone. This big non-horizontal resistance, as we can see in blue, engulfing the overall movement. That's why we've got many conferences here to look for sell setups. So now if you zoom into H4 time frame, we know that as mentioned from daily, we are currently bullish, but we are looking for sell setups. So as price approaches this upper area here, the intersection of the non-horizontal resistance and the horizontal resistance, we'll be looking for sell setups from lower time frames like M30 and H1, and then from a medium-term perspective, I'll be waiting for a new swing low to form around the lower trend line and then sell on spike downward. As per my trading plan, this would be my trigger swing. And I always highlight it like this for those who already know me. And as usual, This one would be like this. When the sell is activated, the stop loss would be above the previous swing high, and we target a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio to have an edge over the market, which would be inside the support zone. Of course, when we trade lower, we might have a higher low. So when we see any kind of reversal here, we'll be closing our sell. But anyway, let's take it step by step. For now, I'm personally waiting for EURUSD to dive inside this resistance area. It's also a supply, as we had an aggressive movement downward from it. So as we dive inside this zone, I'll be zooming into lower time frames and look for sell setups to catch this movement and then wait for this to happen. Or if this one is broken upward, then it would become a support and we'll be looking for buy setups on the retest. Anyway, let's take it step by step, and I'll be making more updates as we approach this zone. Best of luck, and I'll see you on the next one.